Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another solo board game playthrough. We're going to be playing a solo playthrough of Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age, which was probably one of my most anticipated games coming out of Gen Con in Essen. I think it was previewed at Gen Con, but this was an Essen release. And yeah, so, Board and Dice is one of my favorite publishers, and I feel like the past few releases, they've been really killing it. So I was very excited, looking forward to this game, especially Stan Kordonsky, which I really enjoy his games as well. So Minos, we are going to be going against the AI here, and we've got them set up. They use a deck of cards for their actions, and this game is going to be a dice drafting game, and there's a little bit of sort of dice placement, and then there's this big area majority thing in the middle with some things, and then there's a bunch of engine building that we're going to be doing our palaces. So let's kind of just get started here, and I'll kind of explain things as we're going. But we picked one of the two starter cards. So at the beginning of the game, in a two-player game, that's what we're doing. We have these two starter cards. We pick one, and it gives us our beginning resources. So we start in area 3. We get to get a permanent one of these, which I can't remember if it comes from the supply or if it comes from the main supply, or if it comes from, let's see, the player setup. Gain goods, weaponry tokens to be according to your starting. Take good tiles from the face-up stack. Okay, so we start with wood. I think this is wood. So there are 6 goods tiles in the game. Wood, stone, herbs, wheat, copper, and silver, I believe. Is that all right? The back of the book doesn't show what they're called, but these will basically give us resource discounts for... Yeah, so it's stone, copper, wood, herb, grain, and doesn't tell me what this one's called. I think it's silver. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else, because I think money is coin. Whatever. Point is, so these are discounts. These are for discounts for us. We also have temporary goods tiles, and at the beginning of the game, we start with a grain and a silver, and these can be used to, as a one-time deal, spend this to get the discount, or when we get 3 of one, we can exchange it for a permanent goods tile. We will draw 7 cards and dump 4 of them. And let's take a look at what a card kind of looks like. So let's come to our board right here. So here's a card, and generally they're done up in this way. So the top left-hand side is the cost in coins, as well as if you have any of those goods or temporary goods, you can either... If you have the temporary good, you get a -3 coin discount, or if you have if you have a good of that kind, you get a -3 coin discount. If you have a temporary good of that kind, you can spend it to get the -3 coin discount. The top right-hand side is the victory points at the end of the game once it's tucked underneath your board. The area down here is the instant effect, and then the bottom effect down here is the effect once it's tucked under your board. So in this case, it would be I can get a weaponry token when I pull a 5 or 6 out from up there. So that's how those work, and we'll kind of see how those goes as the game progresses. So we have to keep 4 of these. Now, the thing that I got at the beginning of the game that is asymmetric is this kind of player power here, and this lets me at the beginning of the game freely exchange 2 coin for weaponry or 2 weaponry for a coin. But as it goes up, we'll get to do some more effects, as well as we get 1 coin income. So we probably want to really spread our guys around and probably do some stuff that involves getting those. So do we have anything that would be really good for that? I think we'll take that card. Because they both will combo with the same deal. I think we'll take that card, and I think we'll take... none of these require wood. We'll take that card. We'll just take those. Okay, so we're going to take the 4 cards, and we can tuck one immediately. And the card that we're going to tuck, I think we're going to tuck this card here. So whenever we take the expand action, we'll get to take a temporary resource of our choice. Again, that'll make sense here in a bit, but we tuck it under our board here. And then now we're going to get our beginning coin and our beginning weaponry, and we start at 8 points. So we get 3 weapons and 13 money. Okay, so we're going to go first, but the first thing we do actually, so I'm going to put my hand down here so we can kind of see what we got going on. We're going to roll these dice. Now the dice There's a couple things to consider, but we're going to roll these dice. And the first thing we need to make sure is that if there's any grouping of dice, if there's any value of dice that there's at least 6 of, we have to roll everything, re-roll everything. But that doesn't really happen in a 2-player game. So we're going to group them by their pip values. So the dice do a few different things. The dice value and the color are important, obviously. So the first thing is that the beginning of each round, we're going to take turns taking dice. We can take any dice we want. Once we take that die, we're going to place it on one of the actions here. The action names are preparing, which this is the action lets us draw cards. Actually, let me zoom in on the actions here. So this action lets us draw cards. This action is the develop action, which is play cards. This action is the build action, which is build buildings or walls or boats or farms. This action is expanding, which sends our warriors out onto the board. And this action is a wild action, which lets us take another action that's on the board already. And that's it. Those are the basic 4 actions. So ultimately, what happens with the dice is that the value of the die will help. So when you place a die out, it goes on the leftmost available spot. As long as there's no other dice there. When another die is placed in that area, the die of lower value would be placed in front of it. So if I were to place this 4 here, and then the AI comes in and places this 1, it'll push me. The reason that's important is because the left-hand side of each of those values is the stronger action, but the die value will be the order in which the dice or the actions are taken. So the higher the die value, the earlier that you have to take that action. So you have to kind of plan out. I don't want to draw cards if I have no cards. I want to play cards if I have no cards to draw. So you've got to really pay attention to which one of those you're doing. The next thing also that the die values are important is that anytime any color sums to at least 9, you get to move on the track. Now, the AI doesn't care about that. They do have 1 marker on this track, which will become clear when we go to scoring at the end of the second round. But for us, that's what matters. And each of the colors obviously goes with one of the tracks, with the exception of gray, where gray can be a wild so long as it's accompanied with another die. So, for instance, if I were to place out these 2, I can make those 2 count as a blue 9 because the gray is accompanied with that. If you have another set of 9 of the same color, so if I were to do, for example, I can't really do it here, I guess. Yes, we could. We could do this and this and this and this. These were the 4 that I ended up placing out this turn. That's 2 sets of blue. I can go up on the blue track twice. Okay, it'll make more sense as the time goes on. So let's go ahead and start drafting die. Now, we want to take this action in particular because we're going to trigger an effect with it. So I'm going to definitely try to take that action, and I think I want to try to take it with a blue die. So let's go ahead and use this 4, and we're going to place that there. So that's going to tell us that this is our thing because we have the blue deal there. Now, with the AI, they're pretty straightforward. We're going to flip this deck over, and they're going to look at this arrow and say, we want the lowest value die, and then this is the color preference. They're going to take the lowest value die, it's a 1, and then they're going to use color preference, and then they're going to do it red, because red beats yellow in this case. And then they're going to look at the back of this card to determine which action they're going to place it. So they're going to place it in the build action. So they place their die there. Now, if I were to place a 1 here, I would have to place it to the right because their 1 got there first. We're going to take this gray 6, and I'm actually going to place it here as well. And it has to go to the right because it's a larger value. They're going to flip. They're going to take the highest value die, and they just straight up take the highest value die. Now, if there were a tie for it, they take the one that has the lowest number of dice left, and if there was still a tie, they would take the one that has the highest sum value of all of them. They're going to try to place in the build action again. However, the build action is completely occupied, so they're going to go to the wild action. When they go to the wild action, we'll take one of their extra markers to note that's the action they wanted to take was the build action. Okay, so we've got 2, they've got 2. We can already make a grouping of... So he took the other 6, which is not going to let me go up on that track. And I'm not going to really be able to do anything else. So we're going to take this 5, and I think let's go ahead and push them over and take this from them just so that we can get the better action for the wild action. They're going to take the highest value die. In this case, it's 4. It was blue to break tie. They're going to go to expand. They'll go there. And then with our final die value, we will take, let's see, I have a blue 6, no, I have a blue 4, I have a gray. Actually, let's go ahead and we'll take this 1. We'll go right there. We'll get some cards. Okay, they're going to take their last die, and it's going to be the lowest value die, and then they're going to use gray to break the tie, and they're going to go to this action. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, now that we've all done this, we've completed that part, we're going to assess our values of the tracks. So I've got a 1 here, so I can do a yellow bump, or I could do a blue one, and I'm going to go for blue, because I'm going to count this and this to make the 9, and I'm going to go up on this track. Once I go up on this track, it gives me 2 warriors from my reserve, or puts them into my reserve from the supply. Got some warriors there. Okay, we're done with that. We've done that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the actions of our the dice that we placed, and we're going to do that action. And we have to do it again. We have to do it with the value, highest value first to lowest value. The other thing that happens, and I'll show you guys this real quick too, is that there's a plethora of extra actions that can be taken on our turn once per turn, and those extra actions are we can spend a weaponry to move. Let me go back to the main board. We can spend a weaponry to move one of our warriors to an adjacent location. That got flipped. We can spend a weaponry to gain a temporary good of whatever location one of our warriors is in. So for example, I could get a temporary good here of this copper. Now the way this works, real quick, just side note here, the starter cards, and this would be in a normal 2-player game, would start us either in 1 or 3 location. However, the way the solo game works is that you choose 1 or 3 depending on the card you get, and then the AI will start in the opposing one. It's basically the only 2 places that have wood, and wherever they start, they block off with one of their farms. So that is effectively a non-place to get stuff. So if I had a warrior here, I could not spend a weaponry to take a wood because this effectively has no resource there. So just keep that in mind. The next thing we could do is we can spend one of these tiles if we got one of those. We can discard any number of cards from our hand, and for each card we discard, we gain a silver. We can exchange 3 temporary goods of a single type for a permanent good of that type. And then finally, we can fight the sea peoples. So if you look on the board here, and we'll do a little bit of zoom in on the main board, there's these sea people tiles here, and we could fight them by spending the weaponry and then getting the bonus, and then we return one of our warriors from that location back to our supply. So those are like free actions that can be done, and they can be done anytime on our turn, and we can do them once per turn. Okay, so with all that being said, we're going to take our first action, and we have to take this here because it's the highest value, which is a 6. We're going to build. Now, we get 1 build action based on here, and we also get to increase our steps on one of the tracks. So I'm going to increase my step on this track because that's what that symbol means, and this gets me a temporary or a permanent good tile at random. So I have a stack here. I'm going to take 1, and we get a copper. So we get a copper. The first time we get a temporary or a permanent good of a type, we get to move our income track up. The second time we get that same good, we'll move it up 2 times. The third time we'll move it up once more and draw a card from the red deck. And the 4th time we do it, we'll move it 2 times up. This is our income track for money in between rounds. So we've done that. We've increased on this. Now we're going to build something. We can build any one of these things on our board. So we'll come to our board real quick, and I'll take a look at what this is. So we can build these buildings. They can only be built in locations with a warrior and that don't have a building presently, so we can't build that unless I move my warrior with one of these tokens. We can build a wall. Now when we build a wall, we get a discount of 3 coins per copper that we have. So we have 1 copper, so effectively it'd be free for us to build one wall. These will come into play when we do scoring. If we have dominance. And then for each one that we do to get the reward. So we'll get a weaponry and a card draw from the red deck. The next thing we have is building boats. And we can build a boat. And this goes for walls too. We can build a boat or a wall per buildings we already have. So we can build 1 of each. This costs wood. And they'll go on these tracks over here, which will help us with income. And then finally, we can build farms, and we need warriors on the board for that. And we take the warriors away, and for each grain that we have, we get a warrior discount for building the farms. These get us endgame scoring and can get us movement on our income track. So that's how that works. So we're actually going to build a boat. And because we have a wood, it's going to cost us minus 3, which is only going to be free. And we can place it on any one of these tracks. And I put it on the B sides of the tracks. These tracks will get us income. Each of these tracks are going to cost a certain amount of money to place them out. And then once they're on the track, there will be a certain amount of money to move up the track, or a certain amount of another resource. So in this case, it's going to cost weaponry. These ones all cost silver. We can get a silver discount for each herb that we have or want to spend temporary herb to spend to do that. I think I want to place this out onto this track here. So we're going to place it down here. It's going to cost us a weaponry, which we're going to spend. And then when we get income, we'll get 3 money. So that's our build action. And again, it was free because we have a wood. So that action's done. We are done with our turn. Now we're going to go with the AI. So I didn't tell her this, but I have this bag here. The AI will have, you're supposed to take a temporary good of each type, put it in either a small cup or bag, which we have in this bag, and it's going to help us make some decisions for the AI in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take their wild action, and their wild action is going to be what we marked earlier as their build action. So they're going to build, and they get 1 action point to build. So when they build, what they do is they pull a token from the bag for building, and in this case it's stone, and what they're going to do is they're going to look for the region that has that icon, and if they have no warriors there, they're going to send a warrior there, and then they're going to attempt to build a building there, and because they can, they're going to build that building. Scores them 5 points. And then that's it. Now, if they had more actions to take, they would do those things, but they don't. So that's their turn, and we'll put this back in the bag. Okay, so we have a 5, which is our wild, so we're going to take that. We have 2 wild actions. Now, we can choose whatever wild that we do. We have to do only that action. So if I want to build, I've got to build 2 things. If I want to play cards, I've got to play 2 cards, so on and so forth. I can't split them up between different actions. So our wild action, do we want to play some cards? I think we do, but I kind of don't have anything that's going to like chain well with me. So I could just draw some cards maybe. But I'm not going to be able to play any cards this turn since I didn't do that action, so we probably do want to play some cards. So we're going to play 2 cards. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play this. It's going to cost us 4 money because we have a copper. So we're going to exchange this for a single. It's going to let us place a warrior out and place where we have a building, so that gets placed out. Then for 7, we're going to play this one, which lets us move a warrior to an adjacent place. And we're going to move that warrior. I think we're going to move that warrior here. Then I only have 2 of these, so I can't find any sea peoples. And I can't exchange anything. So I think that's it. That's going to be our turn. Okay, so the AI is going to look for their next die value, and it's going to be this 4, so they're going to expand. Now, for whenever they have this, they get 5 victory points because they don't go up on the track, so they do get that 5. And when they do the expand action, they just do it. They do it based on the value there divided by 2. So they get 2 expand actions. So when they expand, we'll take a token from the bag for each expand action they have. So there's 1, 2. So the first thing they do is they look. They looked at this location. Do they have any warriors there? If they don't, they send 2 warriors there and they attempt to battle sea peoples. There are no sea peoples, so that action's done. Then they're going to do the same thing for this one. Do they have any warriors there? They have a warrior there. And if they have more or equal to, they have equal to or greater than the amount of warriors we have there, they will battle sea peoples. So they're going to battle the sea peoples. They take their warrior away. And instead of getting the reward on the tile, they just get the victory points equal to the weaponry cost for that fight. So in this case, they get 4. They'll get 4 victory points for that. So we'll just stick that there. These tiles go back in the bag, and then that is their turn. The bag came from BGG online store for Teotihuacan, but since I got the folded space insert, I didn't use these anymore. So that's where those came from. Okay, so we're going to expand. We get 6 actions. That's either placing warriors out or moving them. And then because we're taking the expand action, we get to trigger our card under here, under the palace, which is going to be a temporary good tile of any type. We're going to get a grain. I think that's what we want. Yeah, we'll get a grain. And so we're going to be able to do 6 movements. So I'm going to place all my warriors out for 4. That's 4 things right there. And then I'm going to go 5 and 6. So that's my actions. Okay. they're going to take their 2, which in this case is going to be to play 3 cards. What they do is they take from the display, they will take for each action point the card worth the most victory points, and then they take from farthest from the deck. So they're going to take these 4 cards because they're all worth 4 victory points, and they'll score these in the game. So we just stick that over there. This is their pile here, and then these will slide down. Now, something I didn't mention is that we can play when we play cards, we can play from the display, but it's going to cost us 3 additional money to do it. Okay, and then finally we have our action here. So this is we get to get a coin and a weaponry. We also will be able to spend. We also can draw 4 cards, whether they be from the display or the deck. And then during era 1, which is the first 2 rounds, we can also take one of these cards, and we are going to take one of those. So we're going to take one of those cards, and then we're going to take 3 cards from here. I think I'll take this card, this card, and I'll take one from the top of the deck. And the Era 2 cards kind of do a little bit more, but they also have multiple resources, so they could have additional discounts. Okay, and that was my turn. And then I don't think I want to do any of the extra actions because I guess I could because I probably should be. So let's use a weaponry tile to get one of these get one of those as a temporary good, and then I don't have enough to fight any sea peoples. So that's going to be our turn. They're going to take their build action, and this will be the same thing that they did before because they took it as a wild. They're going to take a tile out, and they get 3 build actions. So it's going to be wood. So that is this location. So they're going to say, do they have anybody? They have no warriors there. So they send 1 warrior here. Then they build this. Scores them 5 points. That's action number 1. Action number 2 is they're going to look to, do they have a building there? If they do, they're going to return this to build a farm. And then action number 3 is if they can't do either of the first 2 actions, they're going to advance one of their ships on the track, and the track that has the worth the most victory points for them at the end of the game, which will be this one. They just move this up 1 spot. And that's it. That's their turn, and that is the end of round 1. So, at the end of round 1, let's give them this back, let's give them that back. We're going to gain income, and income is based on a few different spots. First thing we get income on is we will get it based on any ships we have, so we get 3 money. Oh, I forgot I can exchange stuff. We also get income based on our tile here, which is going to be 1 weapon. We will get income based on these tracks, so we'll get we'll get 1 weapon for that. We'll also get to tuck a card, and I'm going to tuck this card underneath our player board. Then we get income here, which is going to be 4 money and 1 victory point. So we'll exchange this 5 for a 1, and we get a victory point. Whoops. Okay. Now, what the AI gets is that they are going to look at the cards here, and for each vase of a certain type, they're going to move on that track. So, the yellow vase, they're going to move their tile and place it here. At the end of the game, wherever this tile is, they'll score victory points. If we take this spot, then they can only get the 3 victory points. If they take this spot, we can only get 3 victory points. This is just here to kind of give them additional movement, so we have time to complete that objective. There's no red vase, and then there's the brown vase. They'll go 1, 2. Okay, and that's their turn, or that's what they do for income, basically. And then we're going to switch first player marker. So they're going to get the first player marker, and then we're going to re-roll the dice and start to the next round. Okay, so there's that. Ooh, lots of 6s. And lots of 4s. So they're going to go first. So we're going to go ahead and give them a card draw here. They're going to take the lowest value die, and they're going to take the gray one, and going to do it on the build action. Now, the card that we've tucked cares about 4s and 5s, and every time we take a 4 or 5, we'll gain a weaponry token. So we're going to definitely aim for that. These 2 objectives want us to go on the blue and the yellow track, so we're going to focus on that as well. And we are going to want to make sure that we can get up to here by the end of the round. So we're going to look to see if we can figure that out. So we're going to take this red 6, and I'm most definitely going to place it here. Okay. They're going to take the highest value die. It's a yellow. They're going to place it on the build action, but they can't build, so they're going to place it here, putting this there. We're going to definitely sneak that from them. So we're going to take this 4 gray, and we're going to push them over because I want to be able to weaken their ability as much as possible. They're going to take the highest value die, gray breaking tie, and they're going to do here. Oh, sorry, wrong color. Wrong one. We're going to take this red 6, and I think I want to go there. Maybe they'll push us. Finally, I'm going to take the highest value die. They're going to take this and place it here. And then we're going to take this 5, and we're going to push them and go there. Okay. So now let's tally up totals. So we have a 6, 12 there. These, we can break it. We can go up in the red track 2 times. So that's what we're going to do is go 1, 2. We could get 3 coins for doing that. All right. So they're going to take their first action. It's a 6. They have this 6 and this 6 and that 6. So the order they break that tie in is they would expand, then build. So they're going to, oh, nope. Then they will do this. So they're going to get 5 points for that. And then they're going to take the card here with the most victory points, which would be this one. Put it in their display. We'll slide these down. That's done. Okay. We're going to take our first action, which is going to be a 6. It's going to be this one. So we're going to do this one. But I think we'll do the build one first. Yeah, we're going to build first. We get to go up on a track. The track that I'm going to go up is going to be this track here. We get 1 build action, and we're actually going to build out... So when you build, you can build out on the board, or we can go up on one of the tracks. I might go up on a track. Yes, I think we're going to go up on a track. So we're going to move our boat up this track. First off, that's going to get us a new income of 2 coins and a temporary good of our choice, and we get one of these tiles. So we can get a tile to discard 2 cards and move up the red track. We can get a tile that lets us play a card. We can get a tile that lets us draw a card from one of the decks, or from the deck, and get a weaponry. We had to spend a weaponry to get 2 weaponry to get up here, so it might be nice to take this one. And we're going to activate it, so we're going to gain a weaponry, and we're going to get a draw card from top of the deck. Whoops. So we've done that. Is there anything else I can do right now? I'd like to build a building there if I can, but it's going to cost me stone. I can exchange silver for 2-to-1 to get this. So actually, let's do this. We're going to exchange 2 silver for 1 weaponry. Again, that's my special ability. We're going to spend our 4 weaponry to fight these sea peoples. It's going to remove our warrior here and put it back on our supply, but we get 3 temporary good tiles of our any type. We're going to take 3 stone, and then as a free action, we're going to expend those 3 to get ourselves a permanent stone. And that's going to bump us up on here. So now when we go to build, this will be cheaper. Okay, so that was our turn. So we're going to go to their next action, which is a 6 again. They're going to do this 6. So for them, they're just going to take the 4 cards onto the right-hand side and just put them in a pile. That's going to score them 2 points at the end of the game for each face-down card. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I took a 6, so I get a weaponry for that. Because of this action there. Okay, so we're going to take another we're going to take a 6. It's going to let us, again, get another weaponry. And we're going to do some moving around. We're going to place this person out. And then we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6 was putting somebody out. So yeah. Yeah, so that's what we've done all that. And then I think that's it. I think that's all we're going to do. Okay. They're going to take their 6, their last 6, which is going to be the wild, which is a build. So they're going to do 1 build action. So let's go ahead and pull this. It's going to be there. They're going to look here. they're going to place this here and build. Oh, they've built their buildings, so they can't do that. So what does it say? They've built all 3 of their buildings. So do they have a thing there? They don't. So they send a warrior there, and then if they'll attempt to build, but they can't. So that's all they do. I didn't mention this, but on this tile, you see this little little symbol here. It's here as well. That gives us this bonus, and this is a changeable bonus per game. So there's a few of those different tiles that'll change out what those will do. Okay, so we're gonna play 3 cards. Because we took a 5, we get another weaponry, and we're going to play 3 cards. So the first card we're going to play is this one. It's going to cost us 4 silver, or 4 money, sorry. And it's going to let us go up on the yellow track, which bumps up this. So now we get an exchange of 1-to-1 for our warrior, or for our weaponry and our coin, and we get a 2 coin income. So that's card number 1 we've played. Card number 2 we're going to play is this one. This will cost us 4 as well. This one allows us to make a build action. So we're going to take a build action somewhere on the board, and we're going to build. What are we going to build? We could go up that track. We could build one of. Let's build this. We'll build this out. We're going to build this where we have a warrior. We're going to build that here. That gets us a weaponry as well as and it costs us 0 because we have a copper, but it gets us weaponry and a card from this deck. And then we get one more action, or one more card play action. And I think we've got 3 silver. This would cost me 4 to play, but it's going to have to let me play another card, which I don't want to do. We could do this one, but we need to dump 2 more. We need to dump 2 cards effectively to do it. So we're actually going to discard these 2 cards for 2 silver, or 2 coin, I mean. We're going to dump these 2 cards here, which will get us 2 money, and then we're going to spend the 3 money. Is that what we want to do, though? We are going to dump the cards. I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to figure out if that's what I want to play or not. We could play this, which will let us play another card and get 2 more silver, or 2 more money, but I don't think I want to do that yet. I kind of like the idea of getting this card played because it lets me go up on a track, but also we can tuck it next turn, and we'll be able to, anytime we play cards, we'll get to trigger this ability, which could be super nice. Oh, I should have gotten a temporary goods tile for expanding earlier. So the temporary good tile I get will be one of these. And we're actually going to... We are going to play this card. So we're going to spend 5 silver to play that card. And we're going to spend... We have 1 stone, and we're going to spend the temporary stone, because we got it from that action, to build this building. And we get to build this somewhere on the board. We're going to place it here, which gets us 3 more silver. And will score us 1 point at the end of the game. And I think that's it. I think that's my three card plays. Oh yeah, this card, sorry. That was my card play. There we go. Okay, the things kind of trigger quite a bit, so... And I think that was a 5, which I got my weaponry for. Okay, so now they're going to build 3 things. So we'll pull a tile out. We'll pull 1 tile out. Copper. So do they have deals here? They do. So they're going to take 1 away to build this out. And then they're going to move up in this track 2 times. And that'll be their turn. And then we're going to take our last action, which is a wild, and we're going to pick as our wild action. Thought about building, but I wasn't totally sure because now I don't really have the funds for that. We could build to go up on there and build 2 times and move up that track. Let's spend, okay, actually, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to spend, we're going to build, oh. If I want to build here, I have to spend a bunch of my weaponry, which I can exchange this for weaponry to do that. We are going to build. We're going to spend 2 weaponry to move up this track once, for sure. And then I think I'm going to spend the other build action that I have to put out a farm. So we're going to put out a farm, and instead of spending the warrior to do it, I'm going to spend this temporary wheat or grain to put this farm out here. That's going to get me a silver, and then I get 2 points during the income, or during the scoring phase, which I need to move this down. Then, do I want to go up on any tracks? Then I think that's it. I think that's all I'm doing. Okay, so that ends our go. We are now going to check the vases here. So they move up none for that, none for that, none for that, and 1 for this. So those are done. Now we go into an oh, and I have to do my income. So for my income, let's start with our board. We're going to gain 2 weaponry here. We're then going to gain 5 coin and a victory point. Here, we're going to gain 4 coins and a temporary goods tile of our choice. The temporary goods tile we're going to choose is going to be that. I need to just take those on my turn because I can exchange things freely. Then we're going to tuck 2 cards and we're going to gain 2 weaponry from here. So the 2 cards we're going to tuck. We're definitely going to tuck this. Or no. Let's tuck both of these, actually. That's what we're going to do. Because this is every time we play a card, play a card action, we're going to gain a weaponry, and we're going to gain a victory point. So we're going to tuck those 2 cards there. We've done their stuff for their income. So now we're going to go to this scoring phase at the end of the first era. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score for our farms. We score 2 victory points. They've placed out 2 farms, so they score 4 victory points. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check for presence and dominance. Now, presence is having at least 1 warrior in a region. And then having dominance is having more warriors in a region. For however many of these, if we have more walls, we get additional points for dominance. But the AI doesn't care about that. Any regions in which there are equal number of warriors, both players gain presence. So that is determined by this track here. For the presence, we'll get 2 points. For dominance, we'll get 4 points. So we'll access the regions. This region, we'll do the AIs first. So they get 4 points because they have 1 warrior and we have none. So it's 4, 5, 6 because we're tied. 7, 8 because they have less. So they get 8 points. We get 2, 4, 6, 10, 14, 18. So we get a ton there. We got a lot there. We got a bunch of people spread out early on, which helped. So we've assessed that, and then we're going to remove the blue deck from the game and put in the red deck. And we're going to move that on. We are going to be first player again. And we're going to roll the dice and go on to the next round. Okay, so there's a 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, some 4s, a 5. Now, I didn't mention that there's no 1s. Interesting. I didn't mention this before, but these 2 objectives are straightforward. They're just positions on the tracks. Oh, and then at the end of the era, they move up, so they'll score more for presence and dominance next time. This one is the whatever amongst our 3 tracks here, the position that we're on, like how many of these waves we have. So if we're on the bottom position of every track, we have 3 waves, 1 for each track. So I have 3 waves here. So I just need to get another boat and move up a couple spaces, or put my 2 boats out and move up 1 space to get that objective. As soon as you get that one of those objectives, you immediately claim it. So we need to work on that, especially these ones, because he's already on those and we have a little bit of time on that one. So let's try to get up the yellow track and try to get some boats built this round. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we got. For us to go on the yellow track, we need yellow, so we're going to take this yellow 5. And I'm going to go for building, because I'm going to get some boats built. Okay, so let's take a card. We'll flip it over. They're going to take the lowest value die they can. They're going to use blue to break the tie, and they are going to play cards. We're going to take this 4, and we are going to let's draw some cards, because I don't really have a whole lot to play yet. Okay, let's see what we got here. Lowest value die, it's a 2. They're going to play cards again. Oh, well, they just took all that from us. We're going to take this 4, this 5 here, and we will go... We can just block them from building entirely, so let's do that. They're going to take the lowest value die, and then they're going to look for the one that the least number are left, so they're going to take the red one. They're going to place this out on the expand action, and then finally we're going to take a die, and I'm going to take this 3 and go to the wild. That'll let me play some cards. We're going to take the highest value die, take the red die here, and place it in the build action. They can't build, so they're going to go to the wild action, and they take the right one because they have a 5. Okay, perfect. So, tracks, we've got a 9 in yellow, and then we have the gray 3, which we're going to make with the blue, so we're going to go up on both of these. That lets us get 2 weaponry, and will let us build something. We're going to go ahead and build another boat. I'm going to build this boat here. That's going to cost me 3 minus 3, because I have this, and then 1 additional point for going here. So we're going to spend them 1 money to go on that track. Now, for every one of these herb tiles that we have, we're going to be able to spend 1 less money. I'll have 1 on my next turn, but I don't have 1 yet. So that's going to go there for 4 money. Again, cost 1 to place it, but then it also cost 6 minus 3 because we have this tile. Okay, so we went up on the 2 tracks. We got our 2 weaponry. All right, so let's take a look and see what we have going on here. We are going to do our first action, which is going to be to build. So we're going to go up on a track. The track that I'm going to choose to go up on is going to be this track, which gets us a good tile of our choice. Let's take this. So this is the first time we're taking one of these. We'll move on this track once. We took a 6. We get a weaponry. Before we do anything else, we're going to exchange these for another one of these tiles. And since the second one we've taken, we're going to move on this track twice. And then with our build action, we're going to move up on this track, and we're going to get to do this for free. We're going to move up on that track. Let's just take one of these tiles. I think I want to take this tile here, and I'm going to exchange it for a random good, which is another one of these. That's going to move us up on this track another time, and it's going to get us a card draw, which is really nice. And then I think, let's see, what else can we do here? Let's spend 1 weaponry token to move one of our warriors to this location, and then we're going to spend 4 weaponry tokens to fight those sea people. So we're going to remove a warrior. We're going to get to go up on a track of our choice. The track that we're going to go up on will be this track, which gets us 2 warriors from our supply and places a warrior out in somewhere. Okay, that was pretty good. That was a pretty big turn for us. Okay, so they're going to take their first action, which is going to be their wild action. So it's going to be building. They get 1 build point. So they're going to look there. They're going to see, do they have anybody here? They don't, so they're going to send somebody there, and that's going to be their turn. And right now, if we go up 1 more on the build track, we'll get that objective. So I think we need to focus on that. Now, we're going to be able to build here. So we get 3 build points. We took a 5, so it's a weaponry tile. So the first build action we're going to take is move up this track. It'll cost us a temporary goods tile to move up the track. So we're going to spend this temporary goods tile to move up this track. they're here. They're right there, yeah. Oh, this shouldn't be this high. I think this one's down. I think this one's this way. So I shouldn't have moved this one up. They would have moved this one up here. Okay. So we've moved up to the top of that track there. That means that we've claimed this objective because we have 6 total little wavies. So we get that objective, which is 10 points. And we've denied them from getting it, which is huge. So that was one build action. My second build action will be to... What do we want to build? We could build another wall. Cost us 3 silver to do that. So let's go ahead and build the other wall. We'll build it somewhere that doesn't have a wall already. So we'll build that there. That's going to get us another warrior. And it's going to score us an additional victory point when we have dominance. Then our last build action. We're going to spend a weaponry to move to this location. And then we're going to spend our last one to build this there, which moves us 1 space on that track. And it's going to cost us 2 warriors because we have... Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's spend one of these tokens for a temporary tile this way, and then we'll spend this tile in a warrior because that'll be sufficient for the cost there. And then that way we can keep a warrior there. So we've done that. That's what we've done. I think that's all we're going to do for our turn. Things kind of get hectic. Okay, so they're going to look. Their next action is going to be a 3, which is an expand action. So they're going to do 3 expand actions. 1, 2, 3. So they're going to send 2 people here for the first one, and then send one of these back to get this tile. It's going to get them 3 victory points. The next one they're going to do is they're going to look to see where this is. Do they have any? They don't. They send 2. Then they spend 1 to get 4 victory points. And then finally, they have an equal number. They have equal to or less than. So they're going to spend this 1 to get 3 more victory points. Oh, I had these backwards. It should be this one. Sorry. But it's still 3 victory points. Okay. Okay, there we go. I had the 2 above the 1 on accident there. All right. Our go now. We're going to draw 4 cards, and we're going to get a weaponry tile and a coin. We're going to draw 4 cards, and I took a 4. That didn't trigger anything for us. We're going to take this card. We're going to take both of these cards, I think, actually. Yeah, okay. Oh, and then we get another card, and I'll take it from top of the deck, which would have been that one. Okay. They're going to take a 2, so they'll just take the left one. Gets them 3 card actions. They're just going to take this one, and this one, because they're worth the most victory points. We're going to take a wild action. Now, we're going to be able to tuck 2 cards this turn, so we probably want to play some cards. So the first card that I'm going to play... This will cost me 5 to play. So let's play this one here. This lets us take a build action, and then if we have 4 spots on the track... And I think it could be either all tracks put together, so we do have that. Let me just make sure I'm understanding that iconography correctly. Gain the depicted benefit to the left of per for every space you've reached on every trade route. Oh, have one of your ships on space 4 higher of a trade route to gain the benefit. Okay, I misread that, so I'm not there. I'm not quite there yet, so maybe we don't want to play that card. We could play this card. This card will cost us only 1 to play because we have a stone and a wood. And so we're going to play this card, and then we get a temporary goods tile for each building we've built. So we're going to get 2 permanent goods tiles, which are another stone, another copper, which means we move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 for each of those. Whenever we get to the end, for every space we'd reach, we'd get an additional 2 victory points, or two coins, sorry. Okay, that kind of changes things up a little bit. Maybe we can build something for cheap then. Do we want to maybe just do this to build something, and then if we build something, we can just get... Yeah, let's just do that. We'll spend the 1 silver to build. Oh, no, not this one. This one. This one cost me 2 silver, actually. This one cost me 5 silver. Yeah, let's play this one. So we're going to spend... No. We're going to play this one. This one cost me 3 silver to play this one. And we're going to get the build action. I'm sorry, it cost me 2 silver to play that one, so I get 2 money back. So we get a build action. We're not going to get the other thing, but we're going to get a build action, and we're going to build our last city, and our last city is going to cost us 3 silver. So if we build our last city, where do we want to build the city? I think we build it here. We're going to build our last city. Again, it would cost me 9 minus 3, so 6. We're going to build it here, and lets us place a warrior down, and we're going to place that warrior in here. To help us get that on the board. So those are my 2 card draw actions, or 2 card play actions. I'm sorry, and then now they're going to get 5 points for having that, and they're going to just take the card, and they're going to take that card because it's worth the most victory points. Okay, so we're going to do income. We'll take a look at their vases. They move 1 on the blue vase, 1 on the yellow vase, so they score that top one at the very end of the game. They are stuck on that one, and they're going to just stuck on that one. Okay, so now there's not really a hurry, but we do want to get to that point so we can get the 3 victory points, but we do want to get up on this one so we can beat them to it. We're going to gain our income, so we'll get 2 weaponry. We will get 9 coin and 4 victory points. We'll gain 3 weaponry here. We'll gain 4 coin and temporary goods tile. The temporary goods tile I think I want is the wheat. And then we'll get the tuck 2 cards, and we'll get 2 weaponry. The 2 cards we're going to tuck are going to be this one. So when we build, we'll get to move 2 warriors. And this one, when we take a 4 or 5, we will, or sorry, a 5 or 6, we'll get to place a warrior down. Okay, so let's go and re-roll, and we'll set up for the next round here. Final round. Okay, 2 6s, 5. There's that. Okay. Oops. What was that one? I think that might have been a 4. I think it was a 4. We're going to say it was a 4. Okay. So first thing they do is they're going to take the lowest value die, and they're going to take this and place it here on expand, which is something I probably going to want to do this turn. So we need to get up these tracks. We need to figure out how we're going to get up these tracks. This will help us get up the tracks. And taking some of these side actions will. So we're going to take this 3 and go here. We're going to flip this. They're going to take the highest value die, and then, which is the only one, is this one, and they're going to place this on the build action. We definitely want to build this turn. But we may want to build, we want to take probably a lower value to build because we want to use this to place our warriors out. because when we build, we get to move them, and then we can move them places to build stuff. So I think what I want to do is take this 2, or I take this gray 3 and do that there, because then that works. Because you can take either one. Then they're going to take the lowest value die and take the gray one, and they're going to expand, but they can't. So they're going to place that there. We are going to take this gray 6. I can build. We're going to play cards. Maybe they'll push us over. They're going to take the lowest value die and then the one that's the lowest number of them, which is red, and they're going to push us over. Okay, that works. And then finally, we have... Oh, that was our last one. So then we're going to take our last one. So right now we've got a gray 6. We have a gray 3. We have a blue 3. So I'm not going to be able to go up 2 tracks. It's just going to end up... Because 8 is the most I can make. So it doesn't really matter what value I take, so long as it just is going to matter in which order I'm going to take it. Don't really need cards. I've got plenty of cards, so we're probably going to take the wild action. It's just a matter if I want to take it before I take the expand and build actions, or do I want to take it after? Because either way, we're going to take the right spot. So this is going to let us play a card and go up on a track. The track we're going to go up is this one. I need to go up this track 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Ideally. We're going to go up on this one and this one. Is there another way for me to go up that track? And we'll get to go up and I'm playing a card. So we'll get to go up 3 times for at least. So maybe we go here and we build. Take this tile to go up it again. And if we build... We've got 3 building actions from that. So I probably do want to do some building. So let's go ahead and we'll take this 2 and just kind of assess things. Okay, so we've taken the wild action. So now we're going to look at totals. We really can only go up the blue track, so we'll go up the blue track because that's, again, all really can do. And the AI is going to go first. So they're going to take a 6. The first thing they're going to do is build. They get 5 victory points. They get 1 build action, which is going to be stone. So they're going to go to the stone place, which is here. They have no warriors, so they're going to send a warrior there. That's their turn. Oh, and then they... Wait a minute. Maybe they... Yeah, because they have to have a warrior there already before they can build out a farm. Okay, so our first action will be this. We're going to get to go up on a track. We're going to go up on this track for the 3 weapons. We took a 6, that gets us an additional weapon. And we get to place out a warrior. So we're going to place this warrior here. And then we're going to build. And the first build we're going to take is going to be... Do I want to go up on that track? Or do I want to place out a farm? Before I build, I'm going to spend this to take a temporary good tile there. And then we're going to spend... We're going to spend another weaponry tile to move to that location. And then we're going to spend this and these 2 to place this farm out. Because that's 3. And then we get to move on this twice. So there's 1, so then we get 2 coins for doing that. And then and we took a build action, right? Oh, no, that was my play cards action. Not my build action. I got confused. So we're not building. So hold on, let me reverse that real quick. I'm going to take this back. I'll just take this back, move this back, put these two back. I'll leave everything else as is. We're playing a card. I got completely confused. We're gonna play this card here we are gonna spend that for the 3 discount. We're gonna play this card for 5, which lets us go up on a track. So that we're gonna go up on this track, which is gonna bump us up on this. I think I'm good. I think that's it. And we already went up. I think we're good. But this goes back here. And this goes here. Yeah, I did move him there. Okay, I reset that correctly. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, before I finish my turn, I'm going to spend 2 weaponry to take this tile. 1, 2, 3, and get the victory points for fighting that sea people. We're going to dump that guy off. Okay. I think I undid everything the way I was supposed to. All right. So we've done all that. We're going to go with their next turn, which is going to be a 1. And then they're going to break the tie for which one they do with this, or with expanding. So we're going to get 3 expand actions. 1, 2, 3. So the copper area, which is here, do they have same? Hold on, the copper area, because I don't know if they have equal amount. The player rate says less than warriors than the player, but I think the rule book says equal. If the bot has presence but not dominance, it sends 1 warrior if there's any available in its reserves. It does have presence because we're tied, so I'm saying that they're going to place that there. The stone one, they have dominance, so when they have dominance, and there's no sea, but they can fight sea people, so they're going to fight the sea peoples for 5 points. That one comes off. And then the last one's the wood one, which they have dominance. They already have dominance. There's no sea peoples. So we're going to take another tile from the bag and reassess. The wheat here, they don't have, so they're going to send somebody here. Because they have just presence. Okay. That's their turn. Our go, we have a 3, so we can do one of the 2 3s here. We're going to do this 3. It is expanding, so we're going to get ourselves a temporary goods tile, which is going to be the wheat. Then we're going to place out, we have 4, we get to go up on a track. We're going to go up on that track there. And we're going to place these out. So we're going to place out 1, 2, and 3. And then we can move somebody. We can move somebody with some tiles here. Do I want to move anybody? Let's spend one of these for another one of these tiles here. And then we're going to end our go. They're going to take their next action, which is a 1, which will be this one. So they're going to take the 3 cards with the most victory points, which will be these 3. We're going to take our 3, which is 3 build actions. We get to move 2 warriors. So we'll move... I'm actually not going to move any of them yet. But we're going to build some stuff. So the first thing that I'm going to build is I'm going to build my ship here. And for me to cross this threshold, I have to have at least 1 wall out, which I do. So we're going to spend a weapon and discard a card. We'll discard this card. To move up here, we take one of these tiles. We're going to take this tile. I'm going to activate this tile by spending 2, which lets us increase one of these. We're going to increase this one, which scores us 5 points. Plus, it's for the first one to get it, so we'll get that and get the 10 points. Okay, we got up that thing. Perfect. So that's 1 build action. Build action number 2. So we're going to spend all 3 of these to build a farm here. So we don't have to lose any warriors. And that's going to get us 2 movement on here, which is 1 plus 2 additional coins. And then our last build action we want to get our boat out? I think we do. So we're going to get our boat out for 6 and put that here. Okay, I think that's it. So that is done. Oh, we built, so we get to move people. And that's actually something we can do at the end of our turn, too. So do we want to move anybody? Yeah, we'll move somebody there. And I think I'll leave it like that. Can I get up this track next turn? I don't think I can, but we'll see. Okay, they're going to take their last thing, which is an expand action. They're going to get 2 expand actions, so we'll pull these out. So first they're going to do the wheat. Do they have dominance there? They don't, so they send somebody. And then the next one's the stone one, which they don't, so they send 2 there. And then they battle sea peoples, but there are no sea peoples. Okay, that's their last action, so they are done with the game. So we have 1 wild action, we'll get a card draw. So let's take the card draw, and then we have 1 wild action that we can take. Now the question is, what exactly do we want to do? We could build this last wall out. We could play a card. If we play a card, we could build something. We could move people around. This, we have dominance here. We don't have dominance here. We don't have dominance here. We don't here, but we're tying them, so I feel like I might as well stay. Now, if I stay here, right, they get dominance, we get presence. If I move here, I will take, or I guess I can move. If I can move here, we'll tie them, and then that'll. He gets 5 for being here, plus 3 for being here, where I get 4 for being here. So if I go here, because he'll lose points if I go here. So maybe I want to expand and move one of my people. Or do we want to build and just move up this one of these tracks? We could go up on the yellow track. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Oh, I don't have any temporary. Okay, we're going to spend one of these for a temporary goods tile. We're just taking the one because we have a person here. We're going to use a build action. We're going to build here. So we're going to spend a temporary good tile to move up this track. That's going to get us one of these. We're going to take this one for the yellow track. We're going to spend it to go up on this track, which means we get to build something. And then we're going to build... I guess all we can build is this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to cost us 3 to build this wall out. We'll build it there, which gets us 3 weapons and a person. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll exchange that for that. I think that's all we got. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so we've done that. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to the top of the track. So we're going to lose. We're not going to get those points at all. We're not going to get any points from that at all. But that's okay. So we're going to do income. They're going to move up on the things, but they've basically moved as far as they can, so they're not going to do anything. Our income is going to be 3 weapons. It's going to be 10 money. It's going to be a card. It's going to be a victory point in one of these. So it's a wheat, so we get to go up on this track twice. All right, so let me get my victory point. Then we get 2 money. It's going to be, one of these, and up on the lowest track, this lets me build something at 0 money cost. Which if I build something at 0 money cost, it would be this. Which I can't build anywhere because I'm unable to build this because this doesn't cost money. Oh, I almost got to the top of the track. Darn it. That's okay. Yeah, perform one build action paying no cost. Well, this one doesn't have a money cost, so I'm not able to build it, unfortunately. But we do come up on this track. Oh, no, it's the one I'm the lowest on. So not that track. This track. Which lets me play a card, or tuck a card underneath. So we'll tuck this card underneath. Gosh darn it. Okay. Tuck that card underneath. So we've got our income for here. We're going to come over here. We're going to tuck 2 cards, so these 2 get tucked. Which doesn't really matter. But we tuck those 2, and we get 3 weapons. Okay, so then we go into the scoring here. So we're going to first score for our farms. We both get 8 points because we both have 3 farms. So I'm at 71. He's at 69. We will score for dominance and presence. So for dominance, we'll score for the AI first. So he gets, based on here, 3 points for presence, 5 points for dominance. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 93. We will score 4 and 6 respectively, plus 2 additional for having the walls built. So that's going to be 8. Wait, let me just double check what that means. Is it dominance everywhere, or is it specifically... So this says for region scoring. So it says if a player has built 2 to 3, score 1 additional for each region they have dominance. So we get 2 points for each region we have dominance. So this is going to be 8, 16, 20, 24, 28. So we go back 2 and go to 99. Go back 2 to go to 30. Okay, so we've done that. And then we will score. Okay, so we remove all of the level 1 C peoples. And now for level 2, if we have dominance in a region, we can fight them. Let me just make sure that's correct. So it says remove all remaining level 1 C people tiles from the map. For every C people's tile remaining on the map, proceed with the lowest to highest region. The player who has the most warriors in that region can choose to fight them. Now, if they had presence, or they had equal presence or dominance, they would get that. But we're going to go ahead and do it because we have dominance in both. So we're going to spend 7 weapon because we have dominance here and here to score those 8 points. We have 100 there, and then we get this tile and this tile. And that should be it. So now we're going to do endgame scoring. So for the AI, we'll do their endgame scoring first, and then we'll see where we need to beat them. So first off, they will score 10 points for getting this, plus 6 more points, 3 each for the other 2 objectives. They will score, because we've done our income already. They will score 2 points for each face down age 1 card they have. So 2, 4, 6, 8. They would score 4 points for each age 2 card they had face down, but they don't have any. They would score the victory points of all the face up cards. That's 5, 10, 15, 21, 27, 32, 38, 42, 43, 44, 44, 46, 50, 54. So 54. So 171. And then they'll get 2 points for every step on each trade route. So this is going to be for them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 more points. So 181. I think I got everything there. 181 is their final score. Our final score is going to be the amount of points for all our buildings. So it's going to be 1 plus 3, so 4. Our boats, which will be 7. We're going to score for all of our tucked cards. We would score 1 victory point for each card that we had played face up, but we managed to tuck everything, so we're going to get all those. So 4, 8, 12, 15, 21, 25, 30, 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 54. Then we're going to score. Now, we normally would score 1 point for every 5 money, weaponry, and cards you have left. However, with the final step on my card here, I get 1 point for every 3 that we have. So let's consolidate some of this stuff a bit. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Okay. So there's 2 points, 3 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 2 more points. Oh, I didn't get my 4 points for income here, so that should be another 4 points. It's not enough. So yeah, and I think that's it. That's the final scoring. So that is going to be Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age. We got shy there, 167 to 181, so not quite. I really got messed up here because had I gotten up to this track, that would have been 4 points plus 10 that they didn't get. So that would have been 14 for us, and then a 7-point difference for them. So if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they lost 7, we would have beaten them had we gotten that track before them. So that was poor planning on my part, but it's tough because these objectives are random, and the fact that 2 top scoring ones came out made it really hard, just because I can get 1 usually, but not both. But we did a lot here, and I've gone up these tracks more than I normally do, so I feel pretty okay about that. Had I gotten this farm out, that would have been another 6 points we would have gotten over them, but either way, that's going to be the final score. I think I had, 181 was their score. I think I had 167 or 169. I think 167 was our final score. So that is going to be it for us. Let me know what you guys think of the game. Hopefully it all made sense. The game itself is very easy to run the AI. Now, the one thing I think people have thought is it feels a little samey because of what you're doing, and just like Endless Winter, which is also by Stan Kordonsky, you're probably going to build everything here. I think the fun in it comes from really is the cards and like figuring out, okay, like I can get a lot of expand actions, so let me like boost that up and then work from that perspective of like how I'm going to do my other stuff. Or I'm going to get bonus playing cards, so I'm going to play a ton of cards and use those cards to take the actions that I'm not able to place my dice at. And then you have these objectives, and they're random, and there's a ton of these. So then that can kind of guide, like, okay, I've got boats that I need to get up. So that's why I kind of focused on doing that. So that is where, like, yes, you're probably going to build everything out, but it's like how you do it is, I think it's a lot of fun of the game. So we'll see how the expansion ends up turning out, because they've already announced that next year the expansion's coming for it. So we'll see what that does. I did back the Kickstarter for the metal coins as well as the promos, and I know some of the promos add some stuff to it, so we'll see how that changes some things when that delivers eventually. But yeah, that's Minos. Really enjoy it. I love dice. I love board and dice. So yeah, so that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.